Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. So I got a really exciting episode here, and this was a follow-up from one I made a long time ago, over a year ago, about a non-compete situation. So from time to time, I do get emails here about non-competes, and just want to let you guys know I do have some developments for you guys. So you want to stick through and watch the whole episode here because if you've ever signed a non-compete in clinical research, or if you're about to, or if you've been propositioned to do it, we're going to go through all that right here and how to handle that. So for those that remember, I made this episode in the middle of the pandemic. We're talking probably July, August 2020. And so I do have some follow-up here because some things have happened. One of my best friends is an attorney, and he was telling me about a situation he was going through with one lady. This is not clinical research. She's in a different industry. He was telling me about a situation where she had signed a non-compete, and she ended up working at a different company, and they basically were going after her for violating the non-compete because she was working at a competing company. And then this reminded me of the situation that this person emailed in about in clinical research. So this person worked at Medpace, and they're famous for their non-competes, but other companies do non-competes like Medpace. But Medpace is one of the only ones, or I guess a lot of companies do it too. But Medpace is one of the larger CROs that will hire CRAs, fresh out of college with minimal experience or no experience, and make them CRAs. None of the other CROs really do that. The other CROs will have you come in as a CTA, project specialist, project coordinator, whatever, and then they have their own CRA program, but you already have clinical research experience at that point. As far as I know, Medpace is the only one, or one of the only ones, that does it with people that have no experience at all. It makes them CRAs. But because of that, you have to sign a non-compete. And, I get it. I've always come down hard on Medpace for this, and I'm still going to do it in this episode. So, I don't really respect it, especially because they're paying the CRAs so little money. They're paying them like they're freaking entry-level, CTAs or whatever. No, these people travel across the country, man. These people are your workhorses. You wouldn't be making any of that money if it wasn't for these CRAs. CRAs are really the backbone, and they're really what shoulder the load. They carry the CRO on their back. So, I don't really respect anyone underpaying CRAs like that and then making them sign non-compete. So typically, non-competes are for individuals at a company that have some secret proprietary information that could really damage your company. So this is for senior executives. These might be for the laboratory scientists who may know molecule makeup, and they could literally go to another company and make it for them and directly compete with you. These non-competes are really served for people that have some direct proprietary knowledge that could really, really hurt your business. Does that sound like a CRA making $55,000 a year? When I'm talking executives, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, as well as stock and options compensation. We're not talking about no people making $55,000. That's not who we talking about here. So I've come down on Medpace. They're one of the only companies that does this. And I did have an experience with another company, small CRO, who was trying to make me sign a non-compete over $30,000. I said, are y'all crazy? Y'all must be crazy. Y'all must be smoking some crack or something, because ain't no way in the world I'm signing a non-compete for no $30,000. Y'all crazy. So anyway, I've come down hard on Medpace for this many times before. And this is what they do. So this person emailed in, so I'm going to go ahead and read some of our exchange here without giving away too much information here. So here we go. So this person said they had watched my non-compete video, and they were curious if I've heard anyone who is experienced with Medpace actually taking legal action against someone who breached their non-compete. They said they may or may not have done this. They ended up doing this, and they had received a few letters in the mail from Medpace and a law firm. More so threatening letters. So yeah, I'm actually going to read the letter here. But I responded back saying, hello, I have not had any experience with people taking legal action for breaking of the non-compete. Excuse me. I said, did they automatically send that information to you once you quit, or was there something that caused them to send the threatening mail to you? Do you mind sending me a picture of what they sent to you? My understanding is as long as you are not competing with them, as in doing the same type of studies, you should be fine. If you go and work for a sponsor as opposed to another CRO, you should be fine. So that's always what I tell people that are worried about this is, based on the language, it seems like they want to bar you from working at a CRO, which is fine. Well, kind of. I don't know how enforceable this stuff is. You really want to talk to an attorney when it comes to this type of advice. I'm not giving any legal advice or anything like that. Just want to make sure I'm protecting myself here. This is just one situation that we come across of and how it was handled. So, I talked to my lawyer friend about this too, to ad nauseum. The best time before you sign a non-compete, the best time to get the legal advice is before you sign it. Do not sign a non-compete and then get the legal advice after the fact or before you're trying to leave, because there's nothing they can do to help. So the best thing you want to do is consult with your attorney and see if there's any negotiation on the language of the non-compete. But my understanding of non-competes in general is they have to be enforceable. They can't be too ridiculous, like barring you from working for 10 years or something like that. So they have to be enforceable. And a lot of times I have heard that they don't try to enforce them for certain employees just because they may not be enforceable or it's just not really worth their time. But for executive level, they come in to enforce that on you for sure. So anyway, the person emails back and says, as soon as they quit, they sent me a document in the mail and via email internally from Medpace regarding the non-compete. They said that the document they received was from the law firm representing Medpace, and they also sent a similar letter to the new CRO, which this person was working at. He said that they are aware that they have joined that new organization, which is why this person believes that they were sent this letter. So the letter reads like this. Dear so-and-so, my office represents Medpace. It has come to our attention that you have accepted employment with insert another CRO here. I must remind you of the terms stated in the Proprietary Rights Agreement, PRA, you signed as a condition of your employment with Medpace, a copy of which is enclosed. And it says, by signing the PRA, you agreed in part, and PRA stands for Proprietary Rights Agreement. That's just what it is for short, not the CRO. We're not talking about the CRO here. By signing this document, you agreed in part, and then it goes here, during my employment with Medpace and for an additional period of 1 year after any termination, voluntary or involuntary, of my employment with Medpace, I will not directly or indirectly engage in, whether as an employee, consultant, contractor, programmer, supervisor, proprietor, partner, director, or otherwise, or have any ownership interest or participate in the financing, operation, management, or control of any person, firm, corporation, or business that engages in a restricted business in a restricted territory. And these are in quotes, restricted business, quotes, in restricted territory, in quotes. So these are key, guys. So your proprietary rights agreement defines a restricted business as any contract research organization that provides clinical trial management, laboratory services, regulatory services, imaging services, monitoring, data management, biometrics, or medical writing support for clinical trials or development programs sponsored by the pharmaceutical, biotechnology, or device industries. Your employment ended on such and such a date. As a result, you are bound by the terms stated in your proprietary rights agreement until this date. It's exactly a year later. It is our understanding that this company operates as a CRO. So the new CRO that this person was working for, they put in there, and continued employment with that company violates this agreement. So then they go on to say, Medpace has advised you in writing of your obligations, yet you have not responded. Medpace expects that this reminder of your obligations under this agreement will be sufficient to compel compliance with its terms. Please confirm by reply your resignation from this from the new CRO, and you're continuing compliance with the terms of your PRA no later than 10 days after receipt of this letter. If this confirmation is not received, Medpace will take appropriate steps to enforce the commitment you made when you were hired by Medpace. This may include a lawsuit for temporary, preliminary, and permanent injunctive relief, money damages, attorney's fees, and costs against you for breach of contract, and other actions as a result of your violation of this agreement. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I look forward to your reply. So yeah, guys, Medpace out here talking tough on $55,000 a year employees. If you talk to anybody, it's just crazy that they would even send this out to someone who making $55,000 a year, $60,000 a year, which is, those are pathetic wages for someone of a CRA caliber. CRA 1 typically making $80,000 a year, at least. And then they looking to make $100,000 year 2 when they move to a different company. CRAs ain't sticking around for no $55,000. Are you crazy? And that's exactly why they have this agreement in place, guys. That's exactly why they have this agreement in place, because they know CRAs, once they're trained and educated on how to be a CRA, they're going to the next person, to the highest bidder, because a lot of times they might double their salary if you start them at $55,000. So it's no secret why they're doing this, but the notion that they actually sent a letter to the new CRO and to this person in mail via email is crazy to me that they actually did this. So they're really trying to make sure that if you are someone who is thinking about leaving Medpace, that you think twice about where you go. So this is absolutely crazy. So I basically responded back saying, wow, that's pathetic. Yeah, I don't know anyone who has ever quit Medpace. It's ridiculous that they want to ban you from a whole sector of employment. I'm not, this is just me talking. I'm not even sure that it's enforceable. And so, I blasted them. I think at the time I blast them pretty much any time I can, just because I hate this practice. I think it's pathetic. So, and then this person basically says, this is something that I never thought I'd be dealing with. He says he reached out to the company. He's currently the new CRO and hasn't heard anything back from them. And then they said that he basically said during the interview process, he signed a non-compete, and that the new CRO said they've hired many CRAs from Medpace and it would not be an issue. So, yeah, we talked about it. Basically said good luck with the situation and hadn't heard back from him. So then this whole situation with my attorney friend bringing up his situation with non-competes made me think about it. I said, let me reach out to this individual and see how that situation ended up. So I reached back out to him literally a year later, I reached back out to him. And, I just very curious to how the situation ended up. That's basically what I said to him. Because I haven't heard this from anyone else. So if you have any other non-compete stories, guys, and you're listening to this, please email them in, because I am curious about how all this goes down. And we can help a lot of people out in this industry with this information. So if you've signed non-competes and have left and all this stuff, let me know your story. So email me, please, eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. So I emailed him, and he said, I basically said, did everything work out? So I'll tell you what I said. I said, I hope you have been well. I'm emailing again because I'm very curious to the whole non-compete and the whole non-compete thing and how that ended up. He said, did everything work out? And he responded back very fast. He said, it did. I got in touch with the new CRO's legal team who reached out to Medpace HR, and the problem disappeared just like that. He said, I never received 100% confirmation Medpace wouldn't take action, but I haven't heard anything from them for over a year now. So guys, basically what he ended up doing is He disclosed this in his interview, and they said no problem. He reached out to the new CRO's legal team, and they reached out to Medpace HR, and the problem disappeared just like that. So, guys, I think the moral of the story here is, disclose that information in your interview process and see what they say. See what they can handle it. But let the big boys legal team handle the issues for you. They got goons too. Medpace got goons. Man, these Medpace is even a small CRO at that. Well, I think they're, what are they? They might be fifth or so now. I don't even know. But especially if you're going to a larger one, guys, use the goons to your advantage. That's the lesson here. Use them goons. So all these companies have law firms on standby and lawyers on standby. So let them use it to your advantage. So if they hire you, and whoever a non-compete comes after you trying to talk tough, reach out to that legal team at your new CRO or company, and let them handle this for you. That's the moral of this story. So if you guys are using, I just lost my train of thought there. So if you guys are using the new company's law firm or the new company's lawyers, they do offer that service to you guys free of charge as an employee. Pretty much too. They will consult with you, even on outside matters too. So don't forget to use those services that companies provide, those law services, but especially this one that's as serious as that. Definitely use that. Use your new company's lawyers, legal counsel as you can. Another way to avoid this whole situation is read that non-compete carefully and realize where you can pivot to next. So he would have avoided this whole situation if he worked at a non-CRO. So that means you can work at a site level, like an institution, and they have CRAs, believe it or not, as well. Or you could work directly for the sponsor. So that's two ways to have avoided this whole situation. But this shows, don't let the non-compete scare you guys. This person got out of it by leaning on the new company's legal counsel, and I think you guys can do that too if it ever comes to this. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys are interested in any resume review, career consultation, and this is the type of stuff we talk about in career consultation. I can't tell every story on here because some people don't want it shared, but I can tell you individually. I can't broadcast it to hundreds, if not thousands of people, but I can share information individually that you're not going to get on the podcast or in YouTube form. So thank you guys for all the support over the years. Like and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't, if you're still listening. Prices are going up on all of our packages. So if you're on the edge, book now. And I haven't set a date for when that's going to happen, but it is going to happen pretty soon. So hope you enjoyed this episode. Take care, guys.